I met the most amazing woman named Lacey, and her story is going to blow you away. She found herself lost, addicted, and pregnant with a child. She felt like her life had broken into a million little pieces, and no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't put the pieces back together. Have you ever felt that way? Lacey didn't know how deeply loved she was by her Creator. Do you? Do you know that you have a Father in heaven that wants to wipe away every one of your tears, that He has a plan and a purpose for your life, that He knew you before He even formed you in your mother's womb, and there is nothing you can do or have done that could separate you from that love? No matter what season you are in right now, no matter how far you've run from God, no matter what you've been through, you are loved. God so desperately wants you to understand that He called me to create these videos. It's a new series called You Are Loved, and in it we share stories of redemption and hope. Listen to hear how the Lord healed Lacey, how He picked up her pieces and put them back together. Her story is really going to encourage you, and at the end, she has some really great advice for anyone who might be going through a trial. Never give up, because there is always hope for your future. Watch and see.
My name's Lacey, and I am the program director at the Women's House in Vonore for True Purpose Ministries. I've been there for about 5 years.
Tell me about your life before Christ, or if you'd rather, before coming into True Purpose Recovery.
It was complete chaos. I started using drugs at the age of 16. Very quickly, the word says that sin is fun for a season, and it was for a season until I woke up one morning and couldn't operate without drugs. I found myself in and out of jail. I burned every single bridge that I had. I was a thief. I was a liar. And probably the rock bottom was when I found out I was pregnant using drugs. And that still wasn't enough. I knew that I had to do something, but I would make doctor's appointments, never show up because I couldn't pass a drug test. At this point, I was injecting drugs into my body while I was pregnant. Had been for about 5 years. I had been homeless for about 5 years, couch surfing, living out of my car. It was destruction. It was chaos. It was brokenness. I was literally living my life for the enemy. That's what I was doing, because you do one or the other. You either serve the Lord or you serve the enemy. And in my life, I was living in a curse. I guess that's the best way to put it. Is it was just complete chaos.
Was there an encounter that you had with the Lord that got you out of that, or what brought you out of that to where you are today?
My first doctor's appointment with my daughter, I was about 22 weeks pregnant when I was finally able to go and pass a drug screen. And not long after that, the doctor called me and they had found some complications. I had what was called a absent-ended umbilical cord. It shuts off. And so there's no heartbeat. Like usually they can detect a heartbeat in the umbilical cord, but mine would stop and then it would come back on. And so they said eventually what would happen was it would stop and it was not going to work anymore. And so I was going to the doctor every 3 days. I was counting body movement, 10 every hour. I thought I was going to lose my child. So, I was in a position to where no one could help me. There was really nothing the doctors could do. I didn't know much, but what I did know is that the Lord could heal me, because that's what people had told me. And so I got in my word and I laid hands on myself and I prayed to the Lord to heal my body, to heal my daughter. And I went to the doctor 3 days later, because I had to go to the doctor every 3 days, do a stress test, them to monitor how progressed it was. And I went in and the nurse went out and come back with a doctor, and that doctor pretty much told me, I'm not really sure what's happened, but we think your body's healed itself. And I just started bawling, and I told him, like, it's the power of God. Like, I know what's happened. And so from that moment on, my faith skyrocketed. And I just got a taste of how good the Lord truly is, and what he could do. And so, yeah, that was a turning point for me.
That's amazing. Yeah, amazing. Wow, I love that you got to experience that firsthand. That is just, what an awesome testimony. So now it's been 5 years. What does your life look like now? How does it look different than it did before?
I'm made whole. And I never thought I could just get up and have joy, get up and just, I have been through some terrible things since I come to the Lord. Like, it's not been rainbows and unicorns. It hasn't. But the Lord has gotten me through so much. My peace is not circumstantial. It's not. I can go through those things and know that the one thing that is never going to change is the Lord. He's constant. He's sufficient. In my addiction, I would try to pick up the broken pieces. And man, it was so overwhelming. I would go right back to using drugs because it seemed like that was the only thing that escaped me. I was able to escape from that. But now it's like there's just a wholeness, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's almost indescribable. I walk in a freedom that I didn't even know was possible today.
Amazing. I love it. I love how God gives his peace that surpasses all understanding. And just when you said you have complete peace in those situations, knowing that he is in control, that's just awesome. I love it. I love your story. I think a lot of people don't know that they have this God who loves them, who wants to draw them in, who wants to use them because they're in a place of brokenness like where you were just a few years ago. What would you say to someone in that situation? What either advice or piece of encouragement would you give someone in that place?
There's nothing the Lord can't. A lot of people think that you have to get it together and then the Lord will accept you. He'll meet you right where you're at. It doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you're currently doing. There is absolutely nothing that is impossible for him. There's no brokenness that he can't heal. A lot of people have past trauma and past hurt. And the reason that they cannot get away from drugs and alcohol is because they have not let the Lord come in and heal those things. You're going to have to get uncomfortable. Doing the same thing over and over again is the definition of insanity. And people on drugs and alcohol, that's what they want to do. It's hard to get out of that cycle because it's comfortable. Even being homeless, even having nothing, you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to try something different. You're going to have to reach out for help. Find someone that you can talk to or lean to that's going to steer you in the right direction, because the people you surround yourself with are super important.
We know that God is love, and sometimes in this world we get a messed up idea of what love should look like and what love looks like. How does love look differently today than it did in the past?
It's not circumstantial. Used to, I loved you because of what you could give me, or people loved me because of what I could give them. But it's like once you encounter the Father's love, that love supersedes anything that you've ever known, even to a parent's love. That is unconditional, but the Father's love is so much more. I can love you and not love what you do.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is there anything else that you wanted to say or that you wanted to tell us or that you thought was important that I didn't ask about that you wanted to share?
There's always hope. there is a will and there's a way, and that way is Jesus Christ. And he is the restorer, he is the healer, he is the comforter, and whatever you need him to be, he will be that for you.